know about you, but I have ideas for things all the time. I have ideas for things when I'm out running, when I'm driving, and sometimes I'm lucky enough to have an idea for something when I'm actually sat down at the piano. And you know what? Ideas are fantastic. They are the most wonderful things in the world. But there is one thing that's better than an idea, and that's a thing. Obviously, as a creative person, I like to turn ideas into things. And one of the things that I used to do was I used to tell other people about my ideas. Now, sometimes you're going to discuss that idea with a friend or a family member, and sometimes you're going to discuss it with a client. But either way, I think it's a bad idea. And the reason I think that is because it's much better to show somebody a thing. Ideas are great, and I imagine that, like me, you will have thousands of ideas a day. Whether that idea is, ooh, I might cook this tonight for dinner, or, ooh, I'd quite like to watch this film. But if you're anything like me, a lot of the ideas that you have will actually never happen. And I can comfortably say that the ideas that I've been proudest of are the ones that have actually turned into things. Now, just to give you an example, I'm working on a musical at the moment, and the libretto and the book are already finished. I have to write music to these lyrics. And the first time I read it, I was blown away. Fantastic script, fantastic libretto, and I thought, I can't wait to put music to this. I was having little ideas as I went along. I was reading through the lyrics and I thought, ooh, maybe I could write something like this, and I could put this in at the end, and maybe I could put this piece of music here. Now that's great, that's fine, that's really helpful. To me, that's a really good sign. But when it comes to communicating with the librettist, it's better for me to show them something that I've actually done rather than something that I'm going to do. And that's what I'm doing this week. I'm turning my ideas into things. So as some of you will know, quite a lot of my ideas end up stored on here, either as voice notes or as actual notes in my phone. In fact, last year I actually wrote a song made from notes that I'd taken from my iPhone dating back to, I think, 2013 possibly. And that was an interesting experience because obviously most of those ideas I expected to be fleshed out into full songs. So I believe the opening line from the song Notes to Self that came from it was It's You and Me in 2016. That was actually meant to be a whole song, but then I obviously pieced it together with all the different ideas. So generally speaking, the ideas that I have on my iPhone are ideas that I want to turn into things. And I always make a point of noting down ideas because otherwise you will forget them. So like last night, I was just about to fall asleep and a lyric came to me. So I actually made a quick note of it. And if I hadn't have done that, I would have never got that idea again. That's just how it works with me, certainly. I might have got it in a similar way, but the amount of times in my life that I've had to frustratingly go back and try and come up with the same idea, and it just hasn't worked. So I always make a note on my iPhone. I mean, it is so full. I mean, how many notes are we up to now? Yeah, into quadruple figures. Now, obviously, as you know, I do like to use this tape recorder to develop my ideas, but also the voice memos thing on the iPhone is great anyway. So for example, the other day I had a gap between two pupils and I didn't have time to get the tape recorder set up and stuff like that. So I got my iPhone out and I hit the record button and I just very quickly sort of put something in there. And now I've got a record of that to refer back to. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do today. I'm going to go back over the ideas that I've had for this musical. I'm going to pick one and I'm going to start developing it. So it's the end of the day here now, and I've managed to get quite a lot done. I'm very pleased actually. Just like writing songs, developing ideas does require stepping away, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day and then pick up tomorrow. Once again, I've started that process of turning an idea into something, and it's great, it feels really good. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon. You find me in the middle of making some corn chicken fried rice. Over the last month or so I have actually gone vegetarian, which has been quite interesting. I actually found that I wasn't eating that much meat, so it's not been a huge transition for me. And to be honest with you, I feel better for it. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and apparently 2019 is that year. But yeah, it looks quite good actually at the moment. Lots of different veg in it and things like that. Taking a bit of a break from work to do this, but I've already made a lot of progress this morning and hopefully I'll make some more this afternoon. So one of the things that I'm working on this week is a song from this musical that I'm writing. So like I said yesterday, the lyrics are already finished and I'm putting music to it. And one of the things that I've done to make progress today, to actually get some of those ideas out of my head and onto the page, is to literally do that. To structure the song out logically and say, this is what the first verse is like, this is what happens in the second verse. Because in a strange way, because I've already had the idea for the melody and I've already got that down as a little voice recording, it's a little bit like arrangement now. It's basically saying, oh, how am I going to make this sound? And in this particular musical, it's not a full band, it's a piano. So I'm making the most of the piano as an individual instrument and sort of saying, oh, texturally, what can I do underneath what the singers are singing? This kind of very logical breakdown stuff actually might seem counter-creative. It seems a bit odd. It doesn't seem like something you'd normally do in this scenario. But what I've actually done is I've broken this song down into bits now. So when I'm next sat at the piano or I have an idea, I know which bits are missing, I know which bits I need to work on. So, for example, one of the things I've written in this is that the second verse needs a counter melody. Now, I can't think of what that counter melody is right now. But I'm pretty sure that that is going to happen over the next couple of days. I'm going to be sat there and I'll go, yeah, that can be the counter melody. But this allows me to get the ideas out of my head so I can focus on other things, including coming up with that counter melody whenever that will come to me. One of the things that I've found recently is that it's not necessarily about being entirely logical or entirely creative. I was definitely taught that you're either logically brained or creatively brained, and for years I just thought, well, I must be creatively brained. But actually in practice, you tend to use both sides of your brain for this kind of stuff anyway, because I can't just arbitrarily write. I can't chronologically go through and go, right, well, let's start in, you know, Act 1, Scene 1. Let's write the music for that. Right, that's done. Goodbye. There needs to be this kind of methodical, logical approach to it, because otherwise I'll just forget to do things. And not only that, but I find it clears my head so I can be creative. Just as I said yesterday, those ideas come to me at a time when I feel like my mind is clearest. And doing this actually clears my mind. You know what, I really wish it was socially acceptable to go out to work in my slippers. I got these from Morrison's just before Christmas and they're absolutely amazing. They are the most comfortable things in the world. I've started wearing them around the house pretty much all the time, so the majority of shots you see in the vlog I'm probably wearing these slippers just because they're so comfortable. I feel like Grand Moff Tarkin actually, because famously Peter Cushing didn't actually wear the boots when he was on the Death Star, he wore these instead. I mean obviously not these slippers, because I think they'd probably be worth a little bit more than the £8 I paid for them. But yeah, I really wish it was socially acceptable to go out in these. So I'm back now, and I'm officially back in my slippers. Very pleased to be back in them, actually. They're just so comfortable, you know, you can't go wrong. But I'm going to use this little bit of time left before I go to bed, just to work on things for a bit longer, just because I'm in the mood to do it. And sometimes when you're onto something, it's just good to crack on, isn't it? So I'll do that until I feel like falling asleep, and then I'll probably just fall asleep. But you know what? This feels like a great way to round off the day. Now, as most of you know, Wednesday is a particularly busy day for me, but rest assured I still found a little bit of time to develop the ideas I was working on. Now, even though I didn't get to vlog, it was a very pretty day, and I couldn't resist getting these nice B-roll shots of things, including, of course, the dog. So that's why you're hearing my voice right now, because I don't want this to be another montage. So now, it's a voiceover montage. Oh, and I also spent as much time in my slippers as I possibly could. And of course I drank a ridiculous amount of tea. So, you know, all in a day's work. Just another standard Wednesday. As you join me, it's quite late in the day here. I've been out doing some other filming projects, which has been great fun, but I'm back now. So yesterday, when I was actually working on this, you know, when I could, I put together a Logic project for the song, and I started dropping piano bits in and stuff like that. And my plan over the next 24 hours or so is to gradually start putting the vocals on there. And what I'm going to have done by the end of the week is an actual demo track that I can show the writer so she knows what it actually sounds like. And not only that, but it gives me something to refer back to when I start writing the sheet music out. But what's really nice about this is I can actually hear it coming together, and it's very gradually turning into a thing. It's no longer an idea. Of course I'm still having ideas about it, and it is developing as it goes along, but for the most part it's becoming something, and that really is exciting. Okay, so I told a slight lie the other day. I'm actually not full vegetarian yet. I'm technically a pescatarian. So I'm still eating bits of fish, prawns and stuff like that. So on tonight's menu is a coconut prawn curry, which I've made before, and I really enjoy this. So it's actually got a lot of veg in it anyway, but I'm actually still eating a little bit of fish. 5 out of 7 days I'm eating totally vegetarian, which I don't think is too bad actually. So there you go. Really well to actually keep this clean all day, although I have to say I've been absolutely terrified of getting anything on it. It is obviously brand new, and Very, very white. And yeah, so far so good. I tell you what though, I am absolutely shattered tonight. I think I'm just going to have a bath and do some reading and nice things and come back to the track tomorrow when I've got some spare time. But yeah, it's just been one of those days where I feel like I've done a lot and it's really taken it out of me. It's not even 8 o'clock, but I feel like if I push through, I'm not necessarily going to get something good out of it. So I'll probably just have an early night and have a fresh start tomorrow. So I will see you then. It's a beautiful day here in Doncaster. Dumpling is obviously making the most of the sun, lying on the floor in all the patches of sunlight in the front room here. I think he might be asleep actually. Yeah, he's definitely asleep. I've had a busy morning of work this morning actually, and I'm back here now. I'm just about to go out and do some exercise, not in my jeans obviously. And when I come back in, it'll be a case of developing that track, see if I can get it on a little bit further. But yeah, it's such a beautiful day out there today. Clear blue sky, the chill in the air is starting to go away. Spring is definitely on its way. Did that rhyme? Oh dear. Now this is certainly a 2019 first. I've got the studio window open. It might as well be spring. Like genuinely. As far as I'm concerned, it's no longer winter. If I can open that window, it's no longer winter. What a great day. What a great day this is. I'm just getting ready to record some guide vocals on the track now, and I'm still putting quite a lot of effort into it. Normally I'd just stick any microphone on it, but I am going to use the normal signal chain that I do. For the simple reason that I want to know what it sounds like. I want to know if it's going to work. And the best way to do that is to record it in the best way possible. But to be honest with you, this is the kind of process that has taught me a lot about myself. I'm not really a half measures person. I either do it or I don't, and this is a really good example of that. And so I will get out the best equipment I can to do this, because why not? So the evening is drawing in here, and I'm pleased to say that I've finished the track. I've created a thing. It's a fantastic feeling. I've just sent it off to the relevant people so they can hear it for the first time, and I really hope they love it as much as I do. But yeah, I can't believe it. At the start of this week, this didn't exist, and I've managed to turn an idea into a thing. And of course, it's been a really busy week, but that hasn't really stopped my creative process. I've still been able to chip away at it like I would with any other song that I write. And yeah, I'm really pleased with what I've come up with. To me, this feels so much better than just sending an email to the writer saying, this is what I intend to do with it. I've actually got something to show her. I can say, this is it, this is the song, this is what it's going to sound like. What do you think? And you know what, there were points when I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, because there's been so much on, and I've had so many things that I've had to do, but I have done it. And hopefully I can continue in the same vein next week. Keep turning those ideas into things. But that's where I leave the vlog for this week. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.